Hi friends, welcome back to the Living Well with Bipolar Disorder channel. I'm Patty, and in today's video I want to talk about what it's like starting a new job when you have bipolar disorder or some other mental illness. First off, I think it's important, sometimes we don't have a choice, but it's important to look for a career where the schedule is flexible. I think having a flexible schedule really helps. And I think also working part time, if that's what you can handle, because a lot of people are really struggle with full time work. So part time is definitely an option. The job I chose is actually on call, but they do want to make it full time in the future. So I chose that because, first of all, the schedule works because I will always have my day off with trauma therapy for trauma therapy. So that worked out really well. And then also it's a weekday. So I have a weekday where I can get other appointments in and get my medications and talk with my psychiatrist and all of that. So maybe look for something where you have a weekday off, or you can take off early one day to be at your appointments and things like that. I was very lucky to find what I did. And also other things that kind of come up. I know a big question people have is whether you should disclose to your new employer about your mental health status. And I'll be honest, I do not have an answer for that. I think it's going to depend on a number of things. It's going to depend on what your needs are. It's going to depend on the severity of your illness. And I think it's going to depend on the work environment most of all. The job I chose is a little more open. I didn't tell anybody about it, but it's the type of work environment where it's okay to. They really stressed self-care and taking time off, and just seemed like a very friendly, open-minded work environment. Even with the interviews, it seemed like that. So I tend to like to hold off sharing until I really kind of get an idea of what the work-life balance is like and how people talk about mental illness, and just kind of get the feelings first. I'll usually not tell my direct supervisor right away, but sometimes if I develop relationships with other coworkers, then and I feel like we can start opening up a little bit more, then I'll usually start in that direction and then kind of go from there. The big question I have that I don't have an answer to, and maybe you guys do, so I'd love to hear from you if you have this answer. I've applied for a number of jobs where it asks if you have a disability, and usually under those disabilities is listed bipolar disorder. So I don't know if I've never clicked yes on any of that, but I don't know what that means really if you click on that. So I don't know. Does anybody have an answer to that? I really don't know what it means. Just something I've been thinking about when looking for jobs. But I will say the first week went by really well. I'm so grateful that it happened to be something I just fell in love with, and I feel right at home. I feel very confident in what I'll be doing, and so it worked out really well. I have had to, you may notice if you're just starting a job, that your sleep patterns are going to be a little bit different, and so being prepared for that is really important. Today was my first day off, and I was exhausted, and so I just acknowledged that I needed some extra rest time today, and just so I can go back to work and feel rested going into my second week. I think it's normal to feel this way when starting a job or starting anything new. So don't feel weird or stressed or anything about that. It is hard. It's very hard. You have a schedule, and you have to be at a place at a certain time. And I know there's actually people that thrive in that kind of environment and do very well because they have that structure throughout their day. So if that's the case for you, then maybe that's actually beneficial to your bipolar disorder. I don't know. You know, it's so different for everybody. It's hard to just there's no one right or wrong answer. But I felt great. Whenever I start a new job, my appetite kind of takes a dive. I think it's just the nervousness and the stress and getting, I have to feel very comfortable in an environment to eat in front of other people. So I just have to be aware of that. And I also know, and I'm confident that that will change, and I will start feeling more and more comfortable with that. So a little appetite change, some sleep issues, but I have done this before, and I know it kind of mends itself throughout time, especially within the first month. I think things are really going to develop a system and a pattern, and I'm going to be kind of functioning a lot better. But I will tell you that first week is a little bit difficult. And so yeah, I was just feeling really exhausted. So I took the time for self-care, and I'm already feeling much better. So yeah, I would love for you guys to share what your experience is when starting a new job, how it affects your mood and your physical and your emotional health. I did quite well for this job. It hasn't always worked out so well in the past. I just, for some reason, wasn't as stressed. I didn't have as much anxiety about this particular job, so that really helped. And I owe a lot to the organization that I'm now working for, because even in the interview process, they really established a really open communication style, and I think the position is going to be very rewarding. So I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, I don't know, guys, share your thoughts and ideas about starting a new job, how you handle it. Do you tell your employer? Do you wait a while? You know, how does that work for you? I think it would be great to hear from you, especially for other people that have that same question. So leave your comments down below. As always, like this video. If you want more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. And I'm also on Instagram, and so is Oliver. He's more popular than I am, which is fine. He should be. But anyway, you guys take care, and feel free to leave ideas for future videos in the comments as well. So like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.